Reggie here, your friendly neighborhood bodybuilder and comic book collector, and I want to welcome you to another one of my live streams. I have been traveling pretty much this entire week. The entire week I have been traveling, and I am back. I arrived late last night. I am back and decided to do a quick live stream. And I'm honestly not sure whether people are actually going to be able to make it here because this is just a random time that worked for my schedule. I decided to pop in here. So we're going to see whether folks show up. But, you know, we are going to do no agenda, no attenda. And so whatever happens in this live stream happens. But we are going to try to have some fun. However things go. I've been away and I'm back and I want to have some conversations with folks. And I don't know. Anything could happen. Anything could happen in this live stream. And as I say that, there are people that are flowing into the room here. So I want to say hello to a couple of folks, some comic book soldiers that have rolled in here. So Kyler is here. Nicholas is in the house. Daniel Woodhouse. I think that's the first time I've seen your name, Daniel. Welcome. Welcome to the live stream, my friend. If you have been here before, I apologize, but the name looks new to me. So welcome to you. Herbzilla's in the house. Rob Boswell is here. Christopher is in the house. Young T, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Noah is in the house. Scrolling down, Michael is here. H Factor is in the house. H Factor is good to see you as always. Chris is here. Dakota is in the house. John Michael P. Old School Comics, my brother from across the bay. Hydra Collectibles is here. Mr. Comic 89, my good friend from Colorado. It's good to see you, brother. He says, hi, Reggie. Just saying hi since I'm at work and cannot stay. It is all good, brother. I appreciate you swinging by to say hello. Perry Comics, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Quest is here. Scrolling down through the names, seeing who else I missed. I think I said hello to Chris, but just in case, maybe that's another Chris. Chris, how you doing? Mike McNeil, how you doing? It is good to see you. Snizzle Pop is in the house. Wilson is here. Wilson Ramos. It's good to see you. Welcome to everybody. He says, yes, I am new. Welcome. We are constantly, the channel grows by leaps and bounds, and I am very appreciative to every single person that opts to hit that button to actually follow me here at Regie Collects. I appreciate everybody being part of what we are trying to do here. And so shout out to all of you that are new and old. I absolutely appreciate you guys. Thank you, Michael. I definitely appreciate you, brother. Welcome to the live stream. Richard's in the house. Richard says, greetings from the Caribbean. So the other day I had somebody from Germany. I had somebody from Australia. Now we have the Caribbean. So yeah, we are spreading the love. We are international. Regie Collects is international. Lon Espinoza, Michael, how you guys doing? It is good to see all of you guys. He says, what product do I use to hang the books? I'm gonna tell you. So that is one of the most asked questions. One of the most asked questions is, what do you use to get that stuff to stick to the wall? It is a product called Comic Mount. If you go to comicmount.com, you can find it. There are various tour videos on the channel. So if you search for Regie Collects Room Tour, you can see everything. Every product that I use here in the room is there. And then there's also a video that I created. I think it's like helpful website. So if you search for Regie Collects helpful websites, one of the sites, thus products that I profile in that video is the Comic Mount product. So I tend to try to give a little bit of love to all the various products that I use here. I don't have any kind of agreement, so I don't have any discount that I can offer you for Comic Mount. But Bill is the owner. Bill's a good guy. He will absolutely take care of you if you hit him up. I love that product. JT is in the house. How you doing, JT? So this is where the need that product placement, man. I'm gonna get that white hat and I'm gonna look like one of those stock car racers. I'm gonna just have logos just all over that white cap. Well done, bro. Well done. Do my counts, my mounts do not have UV protection because the mount is nothing more than a piece of like plexiglass like material that is actually secured to the wall. So no, there is no UV protection. I actually don't need it because there is actually no UV that actually comes into the room here. There is no light that actually comes into the room. And then people ask, well, what about the lights that you use in your room to illuminate yourself and other things? Those are LED lights, and LED lights actually only emit a very, very small amount of UV. So we are actually well protected here in the room. We are well protected here. Richard, how you doing? He says, great vids, keep it up, man. You guys keep watching. I'll keep creating videos. Trust me when I tell you. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, seeing no merch can beat the first Gibbon. Man, I'm telling you, the Gibbon shirts were a beast. Those did incredibly well. So the UV protection is worth it. Yeah. I mean, again, I don't really, there's no light that comes into the room, right? So, and then books get changed out relatively often. So I don't have the need for UV protection. But again, if you are in a area in which light can actually reach your comics, you definitely want to take all of the precautions that you possibly can. Aaron Finkelstein, how you doing, brother? So this is no agenda. This is no agenda, no attenda live stream. So we're going to talk about whatever you guys want to talk about. So if folks have questions, comments, thoughts, put them in caps. It helps draw my attention, and I will try to riff on whatever I see. So yeah, the comic mount products are dope, man. I mean, it's like a 2-in-1 kind of product that can be used to have a stand. If you want to have it on a shelf or something like that, it will work for that. If you want to mount it to the wall, you can do that. The thing works for raw comics, for graded comics. They have an extender for like posters and larger things. I mean, they even have other products. Like if you want to put CDs or games or albums or whatever it is on the wall, they have a product for it. So I primarily just use the comic stuff mounted to the wall, but they have a number of different options for you should you choose to make yourself or avail yourself of those resources. So definitely a good product. And again, Bill's a good guy. So if you guys reach out to him, I'm sure that he will absolutely take care of you. So when's the painter's tape? What kind of painter's tape are you talking about? Painter's tape video or branded Regie Collects painter tape? Ooh, because I have looked into it. Trust me, I've looked into all kinds of products for people, for the channel to offer to people. And I haven't been able to find an affordable option to do Regie Collects customized painter's tape, but I will continue to search, and maybe one day I'll actually find it. So we shall see. Let me scroll down. No, I don't find them to be a pain. You know, for me, what I do is with the comic mount, what I do, if that's what you're talking about, Michael, and I don't want to just assume, but if that's what you're talking about, what I do is I typically size one. Make sure that it fits, and then I size every single other one based upon I kind of measure it or eyeball it against the one that I set up that I know that fits. And I basically use my thumb on one side and a pair of needle nose pliers on the other side of the screw to kind of tighten it down and to get it set. And you basically make the comic mount slightly smaller than the slab itself because it actually stretches. And so once you kind of set one, you measure the others against it, you kind of rip through them, and then you're pretty much good to go. But once, it's like anything else, once you do it the first couple of times, you get into a rhythm, right? The first time you put together a BCW plastic band, it is a monster, but then you learn from it, and then they get easier and easier with time. So, but I definitely get where you're coming from. Trust me. So, man, I missed the first shirt. What is this? Missed the first shirt. I just bought a couple of big books. Hey, I respect it. Trust me when I tell you, when you come out of pocket money for big boy books, and something else comes along you want, you kind of just got to look at it and nod your head. So I definitely get it. I think I want to say that I do have 1 or 2 extra shirts laying around, but they're like mediums. They're like mediums of the original Regie Collect shirt, because I order a couple of extra and then that's it. I don't have any extra. I don't have like a stockpile of these things just sitting around. That's a waste of money. But I think I have like 1 or 2 medium-sized shirts. So if anybody needs an original black and white Regie Collects, and you could fit a medium, let me know. Send me a message. So I'm scrolling through here, scrolling through some of the comments here. Very true. Yeah, once the process gets going, it gets faster. It's like anything else. But the first time you do it, you're like, you don't want to break it. You're trying to be gentle. Then you realize you can't really break this thing. Oh my goodness. I gotta pause. Who just dropped that super chat? I have to pause. Closet Geek, bro. So here's the thing. Here's the thing. Huge shout out to my man Vika. He always takes care of me. I definitely appreciate you, bro. This is a new thing. So I use an interface that allows me to do some of this stuff that you see on the screen here. And prior to just this moment, I did not ever get a chance to see super chats, right? And so I actually sent the organizers of this thing a message. I was like, yo, it would be great if I could actually see the super chats in the screen. And this is the first super chat that I've received where I can actually see it. So thank you, brother. I definitely appreciate that. I'm gonna have to send them a message to basically say thank you. Thank you for fixing this, because it's a problem if people give you money and you can't acknowledge them. So this is cool. Vika, thank you very much, brother. I definitely appreciate that. Who is this? Dakota. Saw you just went to NYC. Yeah. So for those that don't follow me on Instagram, you miss some stuff, right? So sometimes when I'm out there traveling for work, I will do, as I'm on a flight or something like that, I'll do like a Q&A where people can post up and ask questions, and I'll comment back and that kind of stuff. It keeps the flight a little more interesting, right? So it's a good way to kind of kill time and also to interact with you guys a little bit. But I had a chance to visit a couple of comic shops while I was in New York. I actually went to Midtown. I've actually been there a couple of times. This is my second time. And I went and walked away empty-handed again. I think that there's several Midtown comics in New York, and I want to kind of get to some of the others, but I tend to stay in the same area. And after I've worked all day, I tend to just kind of want to get out and walk a little. And so some of the others are further away than what I care to walk, but this one is kind of in walking distance. So I've hit this one twice and walked away empty-handed both times. But yeah, I was in New York for just a little bit. I'm actually headed to Arizona next week at some point. So there'll be probably a hunting video that comes out of that trip, at least I think. So scrolling down through the thing here, Dakota, no, I didn't find anything good. Joa, my man, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you as always. Welcome to the live stream. What is this? My thoughts on Strangers in Paradise and Terry Moore. I don't know what that is. I'm gonna be honest with you. I have no clue. I could not even begin to make something up. I have no clue what that is. I have no clue. You guys know me. I'm always like, I try to be as honest as possible, and I'm like, I have no clue. So I apologize. Scrolling down. So somebody wants to know. So here's the thing. So I'll give you a quick rundown on this one. I thought you were talking about customizable tape, and I think I'm way behind on comments. So bear with me. If you have questions, comments, thoughts, throw them up in Q&A, and throw them up in caps so I can see them. So I prefer blue painter's tape for a couple of reasons. If I can have the resealable bags, I like the resealable bags. It's just an easy way to go. But when I go to a comic shop to pick up new comics on New Comic Book Day, I typically will just take whatever bags and boards they have. And oftentimes they don't have resealable. They oftentimes just have a regular bag. And so I use the painter's tape to seal the flap of that comic. I prefer blue painter's tape because it is forgiving, right? If blue painter's tape accidentally touches a comic, it's not going to rip the color off of that comic, right? So that's a plus. It's one of those things that's just it's a safety thing. Sometimes with some types of tape, when you go to rip that tape off of the bag where you just want to completely remove it, it will oftentimes kind of tear the plastic. And if it doesn't tear it, it'll ripple the plastic, which bothers me, right? I don't get that with painter's tape, right? And so those little imperfections in bags, a lot of people have some OCD that collect comics. You guys know this. You might have a little OCD yourself. The blue painter's tape doesn't necessarily rip or ripple the bag as easily as some types of tape. There are some types of tape out there, white tape, that are no problem. And it's like, if that's what you want to use, cool. But I like blue painter's tape. Also, because of this reason, I use a lot of Mylar. The Mylar 2 mil I find that it's easier to close and keep closed the flap of a 2 mil or heaven forbid a 4 mil bag with painter's tape a whole lot easier than regular scotch tape of any kind. And so it's forgiving. It doesn't rip the poly. It can actually hold the flap of a 2 mil and certainly a 4 mil bag a whole lot easier than regular tape. And it's cool. I mean, let's be honest. Blue painter's tape is dope. Who doesn't love a Smurf? So hopefully that kind of sort of addresses the question there. And the wife hooked me up. I'm gonna tell you right now. The wife hooked me up several months ago because she is dope. The wife is dope. She hooked me up with the 9-pack, the 9-pack of Scotch blue painter's tape. And I have 4 rolls left, And so I'll tell you the other thing that I do is when I sell books, when I sell slabs, I actually use the blue painter's tape to seal up the bubble wrap. And again, if people, like most people, reuse their materials, if you're using blue painter's tape on things like Gemini mailers, or you're using them on the bubble wrap, it doesn't rip the stuff. It also makes it really easy for people to see where the tape is versus clear on clear, so there's lots of reasons that I use it. But then I'll also finish with the fact that it's really cool. Blue painter's tape. Dope. All right. Scrolling. What does it say? I asked you on the Instagram about graders notes. I've read a lot of people upset that graders notes are starting to become less and less on books. It seems just you see. So I don't know that I share that experience, right? I don't know that I share that experience. I would need to know a lot more about whether people are talking about 9.6s and 9.8s, because I don't necessarily need notes per se on a 9.6 or a 9.8, because the difference between the two is like really, really minor. I mean, the note might as well say cuz, right? Because I mean, the difference is really, really minor. If we're talking about missing graders notes on other things, I could see that there being an argument, but I've submitted a whole lot of books as of late, and I don't know that I've seen any books that don't have graders notes if the book is like below a 9.6. And to be honest with you, if you're looking at a book that's like a 7, right, or lower, you can probably just look at the book and see all the defects, right? I mean, it's like you can eyeball the defects. So I don't know if, again, I haven't personally experienced this. It doesn't sound like you have personally experienced it. It sounds like you are hearing what other people are experiencing. And I would ask questions of those people. Are they talking about books that they sent in themselves and had graded, or are they talking about books that they've purchased and then bought the grader's notes and been disappointed with the quality of the note that was in there? I would have a lot more questions of those people to really be able to truly understand what the issue is that they're encountering. But in all things, right, if people really have problems, they should email CGC and be like, hey, what's the deal? Let them explain themselves, right? Put them on the spot and ask them to explain why the note was insufficient to meet the needs of the person that's paying their money, right? That's paying salaries. So I think, I like to ask questions, and I like to take it to the source. I think that's a really important thing. Take it to the source and ask the questions. So hopefully that helps. So I have started reading X-Force 1. I did not finish it. I was on the plane reading it after I left the club at the airport. And then the plane that I was on, both to and from New York and Michigan, actually didn't have Wi-Fi, right? So on the outbound flight, they switched us to a smaller plane that had no Wi-Fi. And on the very nice big plane on the way back from New York City, they actually are from Newark. They actually, the Wi-Fi wasn't working. And so I haven't finished reading it, but I hope to be able to read it. Like I mentioned, I didn't pick it up in the LCS because I was actually traveling. So I did not get a chance to read it, but I hope to be able to do that. So Hillbilly Comics, how you doing, brother? It's good to see you. Hillbilly Comics just released, I think a week ago, his first video that was specifically created for YouTube. So if you guys get a chance, check out Hillbilly Comics. Shout out to you, brother, for making the leap from Instagram over to YouTube. It is a different ball game over here, but I wish you a lot of luck and some success as you continue to build out content here on YouTube. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Let me. Oh, there's another super chat that just popped in from Nick. Shout out to you, brother. Thank you very much. He says, "Love the vids. Keep them coming." Nick, thank you very much, brother. I definitely appreciate that. I lost a lot of comments there, so bear with me. I want to try to scroll back up, because here we go. Niles is like, painter's tape is dope. I'm telling you, if you guys are not on painter's tape, I'm telling you, gotta check it out. Because it is dope. And again, just slide over to Home Depot, snag some from there. Yeah, I just saw this earlier today. Aaron Finkelstein's talking about Toddfather is doing a signing at CGC. I just saw that pop up earlier today. I did not get a chance to watch Todd's video on YouTube. I'm sorry, but on Instagram. But I do want to see that. But I did see a headline pop up saying that he was doing that signing. So very cool, very cool. So Comic Collection Agency is in the house. Good to see you, brother. Any Comic-Con trips? So Lon is asking this. So a couple of people have been sending me messages. Somebody just asked me this on the Q&A that I did yesterday, whether I was coming to this one con that is down in the LA area, and I have no plans to attend it, but someone asked me about the Cal Comic Con in January, and so they asked me about it, and then I received a message from the fellas over at Shortboxed on Instagram. Shortbox, they're doing some things. Gene and BJ are doing a couple of things the day before, like a comic swap, and then they basically said that the show was actually pretty dope. So you should come down for that show. It's the best comics only show in the country. And he says, Shortbox says, we're hosting a comic swap the day before. It's in Costa Mesa, January 27th and 26th. So I don't know. You never know with me. You never know where I'm going to pop up. But at the present, I have no plans. I may actually be doing a garage con. And for those that are curious, it is a con in my garage. That's what garage con is. I'm gonna set up a table, and I'm basically going to sell some dollar books, and then I'm going to give some books away. Like, people have been sending me AOKs more than I can send out. So I'm just going to have some freebies that it's like, here's some stuff to take. It'll give me an opportunity to mix it up with some people out there that are in the local San Francisco Bay Area. And that's never a bad thing. So there you go. Let me scroll down. Clay, 3613. How you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I missed so many comments here. But again, huge shout out to Nicholas. YouTube gave me a free super chat. Oh, that's what's up. So wait a minute. They're giving out free money? YouTube is giving out free money? That is what's up. No, Nicholas, I definitely appreciate it, brother. Thank you very much for that. Too kind. Let me see. Garage Con. Gotta love it, man. I'm just having some fun. Because again, people give me all these wonderful AOKs and things like that. And it's like, I literally have like a short box plus full of just books that people have given the channel. And so it's just an opportunity to kind of give some of this stuff back to people that are in the local area, that watch the channel, that enjoy the channel, as a nice little thank you. So all right, check it out. If there are any local area artists that want to come to Garage Con, that want to sign some comics, some art, you let me know, and I will set up your own special table and chair next to my Stairmaster for you to be able to sign books. Well done. You guys are awesome. Oh man, that is funny. I love the sense of humor. Again, if you guys have some thoughts, throw it up in all caps so that I can check it out. So here's the thing. I have not done one of these short boxes. I've not done one of these. I'm sorry, not short boxes, mystery boxes from the Spider-Man booth. People speak very highly of them. I mean, there's all kinds of YouTubers out there that buy these things and compare them and contrast them and look at the value of what they received. I actually met the folks over at the Spider-Man booth at a con, and we had a great conversation. I'm not really a mystery box kind of guy, just because my tastes are so particular and because I'm looking for very specific things. And I think if my tastes were more wide ranging, then I think that a mystery box might be more appealing to me. But because I'm looking for specific books and a very specific number of titles, that just isn't conducive to how I do things. But at the end of the day, if this is your thing, I've heard very positive things about the mystery boxes from the Spider-Man booth. So shout out to those guys over there for doing their thing. So let me see. What does this say? So Marcus is asking the question, what brand or type of slab covers can you recommend? I want something that will keep the light damage out. I won't be keeping them in light, but I can't be too careful. I don't know anything about slab covers, to be honest with you. There is no light here in my room, so I don't really do much in the way of UV protection. So I really can't answer that, but certainly if folks have some recommendations for Marcus here, he is looking for some recommendation on slab covers. Like someone asked me the other day, like how to clean a slab. I've never actually cleaned a slab before. I've never really had the occasion to, but my thought was just use a simple cloth and wipe the thing down. I'm not sure if I would use any liquids or chemicals near my comics, but I would use a simple cloth. This is a cloth that's soft enough to clean a comic. I would feel comfortable using it on a slab as well for fear of scratching them. But again, if someone has some recommendations from Marcus here, kind of post it up at Marcus so that he can actually see it. So there's two super chats. There's a Nick and a Nicholas. You guys are on a roll. I love people named Nick today. From the nature of this question, I'm going to assume that I have no telepathy has encountered some problems with Dynamic Forces. I have never ordered from Dynamic Forces. I've had a couple of people send me some Dynamic Forces comics, but I've never actually purchased from them. But I will say, brother, if you have encountered some difficulties with them, I will definitely apologize, because it's never a cool thing to buy from a retailer and to have an issue. What I will say is that I have encountered issues with other retailers, and I've actually reached out to those retailers on Instagram and, via direct message and via email as well. And like, hey, here's what I encountered. Here's the problem. And in almost every case, with the exception of one, the retailer actually made it better. So I would say if you're having difficulties, and it sounds like you are, I would definitely reach out to them and give them an opportunity to actually do what's right. You know what I'm saying? Give them a chance to do what's right. And then if they don't, then you go in. Who is this? Matthew or Matt is saying, I might convert to painter's tape. Are there dispensers? I don't know. I don't know if there are dispensers for this. I mean, you need a pretty big thing for that, right? I honestly don't know. I keep this literally on the floor, and as I run out, I reach down, I grab another, and there are 9 total in this pack. So I've gone through basically 5 rolls of blue painter's tape since the wife picked this up for me. And I mean, it's like Frank's. I use it on everything. I mean, I'm gonna just be honest with you. I like blue painter's tape. So scrolling down through some of the comments here. I actually just saw some of my family in Ohio this last week, from Columbus and Cincinnati. Saw a bunch of my family from the Ohio area. I think they're actually trying to get me to Ohio at some point. So it's been a very, 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 very long time since I've been to Ohio. But I have an uncle who is chief of police in Cincinnati. So maybe I'll go break some laws and let him clean up my mess. So let me scroll down through some of the comments here. What does it say? They aren't, but they're clear. So I think you guys are having a conversation there. So I'll allow you guys to kind of finish that up. No, I was in Michigan. But a lot of my family from Ohio actually came through. So Rob is asking a question: do I fold over the end of the painter's tape to make it? Yeah. So especially if I'm sending something to someone, I will actually fold over the one edge of the tape and almost make a pull tab for them. And then I even go so far sometimes, depending upon how frisky I'm feeling, I will actually write like pull here or something like that on the tape so that people can see it. Depending upon the intricate nature of what I happen to be sending, I will actually put numbers on them so they know what order to pull the tape off in, because you don't want something to fall out. But I do all kinds of little tricks with painter's tape, again, because it's durable. It doesn't necessarily damage things if you're careful. And again, it's an easy visual kind of thing to draw someone's eye to something, especially if you're sending lots of bubble wrap and cellophane and all that kind of stuff. So, but yeah, I do all kinds of tricks. Man, so my wife has had me paint this house so many times. It's unbelievable. We just installed new banisters and I had to sand, caulk and paint all the banisters and, retexture walls and all that kind of stuff. So my wife is not subtle about things. She typically just tells you what's on your honey-do list so that you can get it done, What is this? Crimson Tide says, been a fan. Oh, I lost it. Where'd it go? All right. So been a fan of your books and personality. You seem to be a swell guy. Can a brother get a Question TV series? Got the first appearance of the Question the other day, 9.8. So thank you very much. I will say thank you very much. I definitely appreciate that. When I turn the camera on, my thing is infotainment, right? I want to entertain folks, and I want to give them some information that gets them to think and to be better collectors, right? At the end of the day, I want to have some fun, and I want people to be smarter. And so I think that kind of comes through. So I definitely appreciate those kind words. So what's crazy is someone actually gave me recently that some of the comics from the Question TV series, and I'm sorry, from the Question comic series. Now, whether there will be a TV show, who knows, right? I think that if shows like The Watchmen and all of these streaming services continue to do well, I think that what these streaming services and TV services will actually do is to start to look for more and more original content that is out there. And I think when you're talking about The Question, if I'm thinking about this the right way, if you're talking about The Question, if you're talking about Mr. A, if you're talking about Rorschach, there is a lot of original content there for people to be able to leverage. And so, to some degree or another, time will tell. Time will tell if some of these properties, some of this source material gets turned into a TV show or a movie or whatever. I think that anything is possible. Andrew trying to get me locked up. I'm scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. What is this? There was a comment here. What is this? I saw a comment and I lost it. Oh man, I think it was a good comment. I lost it. It's one of those things where you see it and then it gets away from you, and now you can't scroll back to actually find it. So sorry about that. So it looks like some of you guys are actually answering one another's questions, which I think is great because it's impossible for me to get to all of them. So I think that that's great. ASM 362 9.8 signature series. Mark Bagley for 800. Is that too much? Ooh, that seems to be a lot of money. It's a lot of money. It's a lot of money. I don't know if I would pay that. A lot of people have been asking me as of late my opinions on signed comics, and I think signed comics are great, and I think they're great if you personally have the ability to actually meet the creator, a creator that you've always wanted to kind of meet, and you have an opportunity to meet him or her and shake their hand and have a conversation with them. And if you have the ability to get a book from them and get that signature, I personally think that that's really cool. I struggle with the sales prices of some of these graded books, especially when you're talking about a creator who is actually still alive, right? If you're talking about a creator who is actually still alive, I struggle with, well, I can get that book for whatever the price of that book is, and I can get that signature for the price of a con ticket, the time and standing in line, and whatever that creator actually charges. And so as I look up Amazing Spider-Man 262 signature series, as I look this up, the most expensive one that I am seeing on the CGC census is $635. And as I click on that particular book, what I see is that it is actually signed by Randy Eberman, I think that's how you say his name, Stan Lee, and Mark Bagley. That is the most expensive one on the CGC census at a 9.8, and it is $635. On average, what I'm seeing is comics as of late that are signed in the $100, $250 range. Going back a little ways, there is one for $400, another for $400, another for $300. At the end of the day, I think that $800 is way too much to actually spend. I would definitely encourage folks. I'm gonna encourage folks, if you are out there buying and selling comics and all this kind of stuff, I would encourage you to get a pricing guide. There is nothing better than having access to data to be able to know what the going rate is for a particular comic. And so I prefer Go Collect. I actually literally just finished recording a video about Go Collect. But I would encourage you guys to get a grading service. If there are ones out there you can pay for, like Go Collect or GPA Analysis, but there are also others out there like comicspriceguide.com, which is a great resource. It's free. You don't have to pay anything, at least I don't think. And you can actually look up the prices. I don't know that they have signed books, so that's a little bit of a drawback. But the thing is, if you're going to buy and sell comics, you definitely want to have some access to some information that allows you to know how much to spend. So what is this? I'm a big fan. I'm a big fan of Mark Bagley. I'm gonna be honest with you. He has come out with this new cover that shows every mutant ever. As soon as I saw it and saw Mark Bagley's name on it, I was like, yeah, I got to get that one. That's one of those variants that you just cannot pass up. And I'll also tell you, and I talk about this a lot, Mark Bagley is one of my favorites. And I can tell you, I'd say this all the time, that I have some awesome subscribers out there. So one of my subscribers actually sent this to me.
Loser, where are you? You should have been here. That was so cool. Hopefully next time.
So that is, let me play this one more time.
With 1G. Big loser, where are you? You should have been here. That was so cool. Hopefully next time.
That is Mark Bagley calling me a big loser. A subscriber got me a signature for Mark Bagley and recorded a video where Mark Bagley called me a loser and told me to come to the con. He told me next year I need to get in line and get my own signature. And I also received one, I think it was a signature from Steranko. Steranko said, come down here, stand in line and get your own comic sign. So yeah, I am a fan. I am a fan of Mark Bagley. I am a fan of signed books. But I think the bigger thing for me is how much do they cost? How much do they cost? And can you basically recreate that same signature for less money? Like if the creator has passed away, that's a different thing, right? That's a different thing. But if the creator is a contemporary creator that is going to cons on a regular basis, you might be able to actually get that book and get that book signed for a whole lot less money than what someone is actually selling it for. But you've got to do the math. You've got to do the math and dig into it. So scrolling down through the comments here, seeing what else you guys are talking about. And again, if you guys want to mix it up, throw it in caps, makes it a lot easier for me to distinguish comments from questions for me. Aaron Finkelstein. So here's the thing. I have only used GPA Analysis a little. I've only used it a little. I've never actually paid for it. I want to say that it is two times, maybe 3 times as expensive as Go Collect. I found their website and interface to be messy and cumbersome. I found the search to be not the easiest to use. But in all transparency, I actually looked at GPA Analysis over 2 years ago when I was deciding which pricing service I wanted to go with. And I ultimately landed on Go Collect, and I haven't looked back, right? I think Go Collect is great. It's a clean interface. It's user-friendly. It has features and functionality that I actually use. So for insurance purposes, I was able to screen in using my cell phone and my tablet, all of my slabs, suck them into a database, be able to look at how much I paid and what is the current FMV for those comics. So when I needed to do insurance, I actually had a dollar amount to start from using just the slabs. And then I added on to it all of the other raw books in my collection. But Go Collect has features and functionality that I find helpful. User interface is clean. It's straightforward. I can easily search and find things. If something's not right, I send them a message via their help ticket thing and they respond back to me. So I did Go Collect, right? And let's be completely honest and transparent. They are also a sponsor of the show. They sponsor aspects of the show. But the reason that I went to them is because I was actually a user first before I approached them to do any kind of sponsorship. And I still pay for my own membership. They actually do not front me my membership. I actually pay for my membership. So again, just in the spirit of transparency about this thing. But what I will say to you is I like Go Collect, but it is not perfect, right? It does not give me pricing for raw books. And a lot of times I need prices for raw books and not just slabs. And so to that point, I use comicspriceguide.com, and Ron from comicspriceguide.com has actually been here on the show. There's a great interview with him online. So if you search for Reggie Collects, comicspriceguide.com, you can pull up this interview where he talks about the features and functionality and how the site works. So check that out. I like them for raw pricing. I think that it works extremely well for giving me a ballpark for where to actually start. So hopefully that helps, folks. What else are you guys talking about? Hey, let's do something. So you guys have probably been waiting around like all week, right? I had some things happen in my life that took me away from here for a while. But folks have probably been waiting for like, when is he doing the Go Collect giveaway? This is a nice segue, right? I did not plant this, but we are going to do the Go Collect announcement in this video, and I'm going to allow you guys to pick the book that we give away. So we are going to do this thing. I'm going to give you guys like 1 minute, and I want folks to vote. I want you guys to vote, and I want you to tell me whether you want A or B, and then we'll go ahead and pop that open and see what that book actually is. So someone asked a question here. Does Go Collect give signature series values with a membership? Yes. So Go Collect actually has pricing and FMVs for every type of book from CGC to CBCS. So they do the signature series, the restore, the qualify, all of that information is actually available to you. And again, like I said, when this video drops that I just finished recording, I actually show in this video how to actually use the website, how to access that information. And I hope to be able to release that video to you guys soon. So let me see. So we have B, couple of B's, couple of B's, looks like a lot of B's. I see a few A's, mostly B's. Still looks like the B's are actually winning. Collecting Chaos, how you guys doing? H Factor says, I saw one of your old kitchen videos today where you told the story of when you got Iron Man 55. Actually laughed out loud when you talked about if you guys haven't watched this video, it is a fun video. This was back when I was still in shape. I had some size on me. I did a deal, met a dude in the parking lot of a 7-Eleven, walked to an apartment in a dark alleyway. It was sketch city. It was sketch city. But dude, he was yoked. He had some size on him. I had some size on him. And I was like, look, we this can go any number of ways, but I'm here for some comics. So this is a fun video. If you guys haven't seen this one, I definitely want to encourage you to check this one out. So yeah, it looks like, yep, Clausy. Oh, here we go. My man Vika dropped the super chat. Vika's a good dude. He's probably paying attention. So there we go. We're going to go with B. Let's go ahead and open up B and let's see what is inside. Let's see what's inside. Let's see what this week's Go Collect giveaway is actually going to be. Oh, that's cool. This one actually has a pull. Nope, didn't I break the pull tab? Oh man, person hooked me up with a nice pull tab on the bag here, the bubble wrap mailer, and I ripped it. So thankfully I have my handy dandy razor cutter here to cut this thing open, and let's see what goodness we're gonna give away this week. Oh, this is dope. This is a dope book. That's the way to buy drugs. I'm telling you, man, I've done some deals for comics that could very easily have been drug deals. I'm just saying, I'm gonna just throw it out there. They easily could have been drug deals going down. Man, I bought books one time from a guy on the corner in Oakland. And this guy was definitely on some drugs. He and his girlfriend were both definitely on drugs. They said, no, we can't give you the address. Just come up the street towards this intersection and we'll meet you. I've done some sketchy stuff for comics. I'm gonna be honest with you. All right, so this is the Go Collect. So if you guys have been watching, you know every single week we give away some cool slabs on the channel, and we are going to give you the phrase in this video that you need to actually enter the Go Collect giveaway for this week. And so here's an example. Somebody sent me a comic with regular tape, and you can see here that when I went to go remove it, you can see that the bag is all ripped up. And yeah, these bags from CGC are super cheap poly bags, but these bags are all ripped up from me trying to pull that tape off. Had that been painter's tape, would not have been a problem. Just saying. 3M. Where's the sponsorship? Where's the sponsorship? 3M, if you're watching. So the book that we are going to give away this week, it's a cool book. It's a cool book, and once you see it, you'll know that I operate in themes, right? So this is Action Comics number 340. This is Action Comics number 340. It is an 8.5. It is the origin and first appearance of Parasite. It also has a Superman centerfold pinup. So this is Action Comics number 340 is an 8.5. I think it's a really cool book. This is the book that is the Go Collect giveaway. And all you have to do is basically be one of the people watching this video now, the 90 of you that are in this room, or one of the people that watch this video subsequently to this. Can somebody tell me about this check mark? I need to understand this checkered flag that DC does. I think that there's something to it, and I haven't been able to find an answer. But this is the book that we are actually going to give away this week. So a huge shout out to the folks over at Go Collect. To enter this giveaway, all you have to do is to capture a phrase, which I'm going to give you in just a moment. You head over to the community tab. You find the post that I put up where I talk about basically the Go Collect giveaway. There is a link to MailChimp. You go to MailChimp, you plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of those pieces of information are related to you. One of them is the phrase that I'm about to give you. So, and I don't want to make this a sad moment, so please bear with me. Many of you know that my grandmother passed away, and she passed away over the weekend while I was dealing with power outages and things like that. And what I chose to do was I chose to focus on other things to kind of help me through that time, making videos, working, that kind of thing, to kind of help keep my mind off the fact that she passed. And what I want to do is the phrase that I want to give you is a phrase that honors my grandmother. And it is a phrase that also acknowledges my son. My grandmother's last name was Carter, and Carter is actually the first name of my son. And I did this for a couple of reasons. My mother, when she was married to my father, was known as Carter Simmons, right? And so my mother's maiden name was basically Carter. My grandmother's maiden name, of course, was Carter, or her married name was Carter. All of her children were Carters. I was known as a Carter kid. And so I basically used that last name to honor my family by naming my son Carter Simmons, right? And so again, as a tribute to my grandmother, the phrase that you need to plug into Go Collect is Carter. Carter is the phrase. All you do is head over to Go Collect, you find that post, you click on it, you go and you plug in that information, Carter, and you are in the running to win Action Comics number 340. The drawing will still happen this Sunday at 7:30 p.m. Pacific time. The contest will close Sunday morning. And so this is going down. If you guys head over there, you can definitely get entered into the contest. And what I will tell you is that if you were last week's winner, you know that you have not claimed your prize from last week. So if that prize is not claimed in the next few days, last week's book will actually go to second place. So if you are in second place, please, if you go back and watch the video, you might have been the second or the third person on that list. Go back to that video, the Ready, Set, Go preview show, the last one. Watch that video. If you are in second and third place, I need you to send me an email with your screen name, your government name, your mailing address, and your preference for a t-shirt, and let me know which size. And if the first place does not claim this prize, it automatically goes to the second place person. So there you go. This will actually, I think, be the first time that the prize has actually gone to the second place, because the first place failed to claim it since like the first couple of weeks that we actually did this contest. So it's been 38 weeks or something like that, 37 weeks, 36 weeks, something like that. So again, if you are in first place from last week, if you doubt that you won last week, you want to go back and watch this video. If you know that you're in second place or think that you're in second place, you want to go back and watch the last Ready, Set, Go preview show video so that I can send this book out. It is literally sitting boxed up in the outer room waiting for a label. So claim your prize, people. Claim your prize. All right. Quest is like, I'll take it. Yes, you have to head. Thank you very much, Robert. You have to head over to the community tab on the channel. If you cannot find the community tab, you search for Reggie Collects community tab or Reggie Collects Go Collect giveaway, and all of the details about what you do, where you go, is all in those two videos. So, but the community tab is how you do it. All right. Yeah, that is correct. No one took it. No one took the Walking Dead free comic book day. So that just means that we'll have to do another video in which we actually try to give away that book. We've given away two $20 gift certificates so far, but each time they wanted the gift certificate and not the book. So we will do it again, and we'll hopefully be able to give the book away. I still have another book down here, and I think another gift certificate or two. So the folks over at 3204 Auctions have really taken care of us by giving us a lot of books and a lot of gift certificates to give away. So stay tuned for various videos in which I'll actually be announcing those different giveaways. So scrolling down through the comments, I think this is actually a really good comment here. There's a question around whether Image should still be considered an independent comic company. This is actually a legitimate question, right? And it's one that I've actually thought about. And I mean, they have been in third position for a very long time, right? So the question becomes, at what point do you just consider it the big three instead of the big two? And is it dollar amount? Is it volume? Is it time in the industry? I mean, you're looking at 80 years versus 20 years. I don't know what the numbers are in comparison, but I want to say the Image is probably well behind Marvel and DC in terms of revenue and also units sold. But at what point do you no longer consider them an independent? It's actually a legitimate question. It is a legitimate question. And I don't know the answer to it. I really don't. But in my head, I don't really consider Image an independent company anymore, like an indie. I don't consider them indie, right? They are one of the big three. And when you start to look at like a Blaze Studios or TKO Studios, I think those are indies, right? I don't know about Image. I don't know about Image at all. Let me scroll down through some of the comments here. Let me see what else you guys are talking about. The difference is how Image runs their business to creators. Yeah, but again, it doesn't necessarily make them independent. It makes them different, right? Because, I mean, you have TKO Studios who actually doesn't use Diamond. They actually distribute directly to individual people. That's an independent type of behavior. I think that the business model that Image has put together, they still go through Diamond, but their business model allows their creators to own their properties, which I think is a fantastic business model. But do they still have that scrappy, independent kind of vibe? I don't know. I don't know about that versus like in a Blaze or a TKO Studios or even like maybe a Boom Studios, right? I don't know. I don't know. I definitely think that their business model is very different, and I think that it works for them. But are they an indie? I don't know. I don't know. There you go. Here we go. So I don't consider Image or Dark Horse to be independent. There you go. I mean, I here you go. Somebody else is saying I don't think that they are. So yeah, there you go. At Midtown Comics, they are not considered to be independent. They are in their own. They are on their own now. Definitely agree with that. Definitely agree with that. So scrolling down through some of the comments here. So there we go. And so DC made the checkered flag for the old spinner racks, only the top. There we go. Thank you for that. Thank you. That helps. And I brought it up to a comic shop owner and they were like, I don't know, but I knew that there was a reason for it. And I think that actually makes perfect sense. I think somebody else answered that above as well. And I think I might have missed it because I saw spinner rack. But yeah, thank you for that. Scrolling. I'm actually going to be testing out some spinner racks. I'm actually going to be testing out some tank tops here at some point. So definitely stay tuned for that. Stay tuned. So just signed up, says Wilson signed up for the Go Collect giveaway. So there you go. Scrolling. Is Hollywood dead because of the MCU. I don't know about it being dead. I mean, I think the MCU has given life to a whole lot of actors that otherwise would not be working. If you look at the number of actors that are in their 40s and 50s that are in MCU movies, if you look at Robert Downey Jr., that dude's career was over before Iron Man. We gave him new life because of the MCU. So no, I don't think that it's dead. I don't think that it's dead at all. I think that, every market goes through cycles, right? And right now it is the comic book cycle, right? If you remember back in the day, if it wasn't an alien, it did not get played. Bad, but before that, if it was not a vampire, it did not get played. There are cycles to all of this stuff. And right now, we are in the cycle of superheroes, and who knows how long this cycle / error will last. I say, let's enjoy it. What does it say, Reg? Does your wife know you're on? Man, bro, I sent my wife a message. I said, are you on your way home? Because I'm not at work right now. I said, are you on your way home? And she says, no. I said, I'm about to go live. She says, do it. So here we go. JLS Comics, how you doing, brother? It is good. It's good to see you. You think Hollywood is dead? I have one word for you. That's Joker. When are you swinging back to Stockton? Man, I don't know. I haven't been to Stockton in quite some time, to be honest with you. I might need to get out there at some point. I still need to check out at least one of the shops that are out there. I think the guy's name is Al. He's an older guy, I want to say in his 80s, that still runs a comic shop. He owns one of the shops that I have not been to. I've been to the other two, but I have not been to Al's shop. So I hope to actually get out there at some point. I will probably swing by and see Jim over at Grapevine, because Grapevine hooked us up with those awesome Carnage comics. Was at 361, I think, hooked us up with those. So I need to swing by and see him next time I'm in town. So we shall see. Scrolling down through some of the comments here. Yeah, MCU is providing a lot of jobs in Hollywood, and nobody's really looking forward to going to the movies unless there's a comic. Yeah, this is our time, man. This is definitely the time for comics. When you start to see people like Angelina Jolie start to line up and try to get into a comic book movie, I mean, I think that says something, because she's still a pretty big name, at least in my opinion, out there. And so I think that that's a good sign. I think that people, might have been laughing at Robert Downey Jr. back in the day, 10 years ago, and they were like, oh, he's going to do Iron Man. No one's laughing now. No one's laughing at $27 billion that has been generated by the MCU. No one is laughing. This is real, man. And I think it's fantastic. And the thing is, who knows how long it's going to last, right? Because the thing is that there is so much diverse content out there. Yes, a lot of what we see is about superheroes, but then when you look at some of the other things that are like on TV, for example, there are some TV shows that are based upon comics that don't really have anything to do with spandex. You know what I'm saying? So there is so much rich content out there, so many different ways to tell a story. Look at the Joker. That's not even, I think we were all scared when they were like, hey, this is not a traditional comic book movie. We're not making a comic book movie. We were all scared. But the people that have seen the Joker, I was with relatives this weekend that don't even like comic books, and they were like, I need to go see the Joker. Have you seen the Joker? We need to go see the Joker. I think they were trying to pull family together to go to like a midnight show. That's how serious it is. And again, I think we are definitely in a sweet spot here, and I hope that it continues for a long time, So here's a question here. Do I think that Captain Marvel will now be the face of the MCU? I have no clue. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know whether either one of those characters can be the face of the MCU, to be honest with you. I mean, they made Robert Downey Jr. and Iron Man the center, if you will, of the MCU when he wasn't, maybe in my opinion, the biggest comic book character to do it with. But whether it will be one of these other two, I don't know. I think only time will tell. And I think one of the great things about the folks that work at Marvel Studios is that they sometimes do the unexpected. And so I think only time will tell what will happen. The one thing that I will know, the one thing that I know is that it's going to be good. I mean, it doesn't really matter which character you pick. It's going to be good. Right. And so there you go. I mean, a couple of more $1 million will actually be made. I have not been to West Virginia maybe ever. And I lived in the DMV for a very long time, for a total of 12 years. And I don't think I ever made it to the West Virginias. And the challenge with me is that if I go a place, I'm typically going for work by and large, and I'm typically in and out, you know. That's the challenge with me, is that I'm typically in and out of places pretty quickly, and I rarely tell people I'm there because I'm out so fast that it's like last thing you want to do is like tell somebody I'm in town, but I can't see you because I have other things to do, like work, which is the reason that I'm there. And so it's always a tough thing, but you never know. You never know where I'm actually going to show up. I mean, that's the truth of the matter. So scrolling down through some of the comments here, Brett Hess Art, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. I have no telepathy is saying they should put the Beast in the Avengers. I'd be good with that. I'd be good. Omega Comics, how you doing, brother? It is good to see you. Eddie's mullet. Brie Larson has the charisma of a pile of rocks. Actually, isn't a pile of rocks a character in the X-Men? I think Pile of Rocks is an X-Men character, I want to say. Scrolling down through the comments. Oh man, let me see. I think I missed a couple here. I'm trying to scroll up through some of the comments. Iron Man is amazing. Wonder Woman is getting remembered. Yeah, so there is that's coming out. I actually started to talk about that like 2 weeks ago during the Ready Set Go preview show, that Wonder Woman is coming out with this 750 issue, and it's going to be going to get some recognition and stuff like that, which I think is great. I think there was a Wonder Woman comic that I was actually thinking about picking up because the cover was super gorgeous. So I may actually still do that. So here's a comment here. Hydra Collectibles, any plans to swim with the short box sharks again? I've been a guest 4 times. Yeah, I dig those guys. I dig what Shortbox is attempting to do. I think because of the time change and the time difference, it's much easier for you in the UK to actually hook up with them. I think they had to wait up until like 1 a.m. in order to do the recording with me. So it's a little bit of a challenge. And as you know, I mean, the thing is I don't appear a whole lot of places. If someone reaches out to me and is like, hey, I'd like for you to come on. If I listen to their content, I dig their content, I like what they're doing, then I try to support folks, but it's a little bit of a challenge to do these appearances and things like that, and still, kind of maintain your own channel and do everything that needs to be done, So I actually received a request from somebody yesterday asking me to actually ask me to jump on and join them for an interview. And I may actually do it. And they've interviewed a couple of cool people like Jason. They interviewed the actor that played Jason. I just want to go on because I love Jason, and I'm in proximity to Jason now, But the Shortbox guys are doing some really cool stuff. So it's cool. It's cool. I dig the fact, Hydra, that you guys over in like the UK are banding together and trying to raise the profile of comics in the UK. I think it's dope, and I applaud everything that you guys are doing over there. So yeah, I think it's great that you've appeared as many times as you have. If those guys reach it back out to me and ask me to do it and don't mind staying up until 1 and 2 o'clock in the morning to have me on the show, then I'll try to join again. So very cool, very cool. Scrolling through. When am I coming to Northwest Olympia, Washington? Man, I don't come that way anymore. My ex-in-laws are up in that area. No, I've been up there a couple of times. I've been through that area a couple of times in just the last year. I want to say I've been up there like 3 times in the last year. So you never know. You never know again where I'm actually going to show up. I'm not touching any of these comments. I will read them and I will laugh at them, but I am not going to offer any commentary. All right, so I think I am going to wrap this up. I've really enjoyed this. I missed you guys over this last week or so. So I'm definitely missing you guys, and so I wanted to spend a little bit of time chatting with you and also give you guys an opportunity to add a really cool slab to your own collection. So again, if you are interested in adding this book right here to your collection, it's Action Comics 340. It's the origin and first appearance of Parasite. This is an 8.5 with off-white to white pages. This book could be yours. All you have to do is to head over to the community tab, find the post, and it's the first post. You click on the MailChimp link, you plug in 3 pieces of information. 2 of them are relevant to you, and the third one is the phrase Carter, Carter. You plug that in and you are in the running. Next, you tune into the Ready, Set, Go preview show on Sunday at 7:30 p.m. to find out if you are indeed the winner. If you enter last week's contest, and you haven't watched last week's Ready, Set, Go preview show, go back and watch it. The person that won the contest has not claimed their prize. So if you are in first place, I need you to send me an email so that you can get your book. If you are in second place, I need you to send me an email, because if first place doesn't claim their book in time, I'm going to send the book to you. And so I will need to know your real name, your screen name, your mail-in address, and your preference for a t-shirt. If you want the t-shirt, I need to know size. It only comes in large and extra large. So let me know which size that you're going to wear. All right, with that, I'm going to wrap this thing up. I want to thank you guys for hanging out with me just a little bit. And again, you never know what can happen this weekend. Because I've been out of the loop, I am back, and I just may go live again 5 minutes after I wrap this one up. You never know. So stay tuned. If you need to reach out to me, feel free to do so at Reggie Collects on Instagram, at RegieCollects@gmail.com. Take care.